Conceded he did not know how long that would take, just that Saddam's grip was weaker.
But with this much turmoil, it seems to me unlikely he can survive. People are fed up with him. They see him for the brutal dictator he is.
That may be wishful thinking. Saddam surrounded himself today with old cronies and a new cabinet, and there were no signs in Baghdad that he was hunkered down awaiting the end. Many analysts say that Kurdish leaders cannot match Saddam's tanks and helicopters, that only if the Iraqi army collapses and many Iraqi soldiers like these surrender can the Kurds hold the cities in the north. In retaking some southern Shiite cities like Karbala, Pentagon sources say Saddam may have used more than tanks and helicopters. U.S. communications intercepts of Iraqi radio traffic suggest that poison gas may have been used in Karbala. Army commanders were overheard saying, "It's time to use the special things," and ordering, "Use the special arms now." After that, U.S. aircraft reported several strange white plumes in Karbala, and refugees there reported that poison gas was used. These defeated Shiite rebels also say poison gas was used. The gas and other weapons of mass destruction are to be destroyed under United Nations supervision, according to a draft of a UN ceasefire resolution, which the State Department says Iraq must agree to.
It would be the position of the United States that these resolutions, if adopted, should be implemented regardless of whether Iraq accepts it or not.
Forcing Iraq to accept the will of the UN could mean more suffering. Today, these Iraqi peasants rioted to get at Saudi gifts of food in a part of Iraq still occupied by the Allies. UN officials say people are starving throughout Iraq. But despite the hardships, administration officials say that if Iraq does not bow to UN dictates, the economic stranglehold on Iraq will continue. Tom?
Thank you, Fred. NBC's Jim Mickelson.
That's right, Tom. General Schwarzkopf violated one of the cardinal rules of the military. Never second-guess the commander-in-chief, especially in public.
This afternoon, President Bush tried to brush aside the controversy.
It's Schwarzkopf in the doghouse, Mr. President! No.
The flap arose after Schwarzkopf said he wanted to annihilate the Iraqi military and suggested that the president may have called off the war too soon. The remarks came in an interview with David Frost to be aired tonight on PBS.
Frankly, my recommendation had been, continue to march. I mean, we had them in a rout, and we could have continued to, great destruction upon them. We could have completely closed the door and made it, in fact, a battle of annihilation.
It stunned the White House and drew a sharp rebuke from the Pentagon. In a written statement, Defense Secretary Dick Cheney said the president's decision was correct and courageous. Cheney added that when Bush first phoned Schwarzkopf about the decision, the general raised no objection. The president stayed above the fray.
I have full confidence in General Schwarzkopf, but all I know is that there was total agreement in terms of when this war should end.
But others weren't so charitable. Administration officials compared Schwarzkopf to General Patton, who had wanted to march all the way to Moscow in World War II. They also stressed that the destruction of Iraq's military was never the U.S. goal. Officials said it would have helped the Kurds and Shiites, but would have hurt any chance for stability in the Gulf.
The White House is finding it difficult to pick a public fight with such a popular national war hero. Spokesman Marlon Fitzwater said Schwarzkopf is still a good guy who said the wrong thing. But another official put it more bluntly, saying Schwarzkopf's been in the desert too long.